Welcome everybody for today's lesson. Today, a disclaimer before we start our lesson. Anybody who is not wanting to get hammered or get shattered, their mohas can escape the class. If you are really serious and you really want to know the truths of this world, which is going to be bitter and it is going to pinch you in different places, you can withdraw from the class. Disclaimer. So if you want to retain and to, it's really going to be like a hammer, like hammer when it pounds on something, it shatters. If you have something and you put a big heavy hammer on that, the pieces of it will get shattered. In the same way, our moha, our delusion, we are going to shatter it with the power of knowledge. So you can think twice and you can withdraw from the class. Everybody are in or out?
In Prabhu.
In Prabhu.
Shattered enough already.
In Prabhu. Namaste.
I can't hear you. Okay. Fine. Okay. So welcome. So today we are going to discuss about a very important teaching of Sri Adi Shankaracharya, which he gave this knowledge to his disciples, to this world at his very mature stage. He didn't live for long. He was here for a very short period of his pastimes in this material creation, only for about say 33 years. But in the end of this is what he gave this. He taught very strongly. At that time when he had come, the Vedas were not at all prominent. The Vedas were completely subdued. Buddhism was very, very prominent. And the role of Sri Shankaracharya ji was to get back the Vedas into the society. Vedas are nothing but the user's manual for us, where we can know what to do, how to do, when to do, what not to do. So we had to bring them back. So that was his role. And he brought them back very strictly, because Lord Buddha is completely rejected, because people started misusing the Vedas. So, and he said, forget the Vedas, forget everything. Just Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, just surrender to me. That's what Lord Buddha taught. But now Shankaracharya had to bring back, for the longer period of this Kali Yuga, the Vedas are very important for us to get guided through. And he did a very great role by doing that. When he was doing this, he taught very simply. He said that Jagat Mithya Brahma Satya. So everything here is illusion, and the only reality is Brahman. So he went only till the level of Brahman. But in the end of all his teachings, every time he spoke very strongly about Brahman, Brahman, Brahman. But in the end, this is what he gave us, is Moha Mudgara. This happened when he and his disciples were traveling towards Varanasi. When he was traveling towards Varanasi, usually traditionally, when the sages used to travel, and the houses were built in such a way to accommodate everybody and everything. Right now in our present day society, where we have to actually take appointment and go, oh, can we come to your home, is this time okay, and then veg or non-veg, or with onion garlic, without onion garlic, we have to ask so many things and then fix a time, fix everything, and then go. That was not the Vedic tradition. Vedic tradition is they were actually cooking every time. Not if there are about a family of 8 people, they used to cook for 12 people, 13 people every day. And the householder, used to go out and call out before having their lunch or any meal. Is there anybody hungry out there? And if nobody comes, then they're going to start their meal. And it was so designed in such a way that every traditional Vedic houses were having in the front, the porch of their house, they're having a sitting place. So you would have seen the traditional houses outside the main door, there'll be a place to sit down, right? So why was that made? So that was made for a specific reason, where to invite, it's like people who are walking around, who are there, if they feel tired, there's a place for them to sit. There's a place for them before they come inside. They can talk to them, make things ready for them. So that is how the Vedic tradition was. And now the same thing when Shankaracharya and when his disciples were passing through, there was a banyan tree, and then there was a guru, a very elderly person, and there were all his disciples who were all sitting and chanting the mantras, and then they were reciting, learning the Sanskrit grammar. And then when the guru's kamandalu with filled with water fell down, tongue, it fell down. And then the disciples, everybody was so much eager in chanting, Om, this the mantra, mantra, mantra. They were chanting so much that they forgot to even to lift the kamandalu, give him back. This stuck Shankaracharya. At this age where this person is dwindling, he's not in the stage of, there's his stages of growth in our life, right? One is birth, growth, sustenance, reproduction, dwindling, and death. So this person is in the fifth stage of dwindling. So at this stage, he is still chanting and teaching grammar. So Shankaracharya, then he told very, very strongly, that's what we are going to learn today. He said very simple thing, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudamate. He is called the Mudha. You fool. You have to worship Govinda, Bhaja, Govinda, Bhaja, Govinda, Bhaja, Govinda, 3 times, Mudamate. So this is what we are going to learn today. This is what this whole compilation of those verses, which is spoken by Shankaracharya, the first 12, the total 33 verses in this. First 12 were spoken by him, followed by the 14 verses, which each of his disciples, they all told one shloka, and ending again with the last 4 shlokas by Shankaracharya himself. So this is how it's designed. This whole compilation is called as Moha Mudgara. That means Moha means delusion, and Mudgara means which is going to shatter with a hammer. So this is what Shankaracharya is doing at the end of his all his teachings. This is the final culmination, is what he taught us. Is very simple thing. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudamati. Just worship Govinda, just worship Govinda, just worship Govinda. There's nothing else which we have to do in this world. That's a delusion which we are in, that no, I have to study for my exam. Array, so much tension, I have to study for my exam. Array, I have to get married, I have to get married. Array, my job, I have to go for my job. I have to take care of this, I have to take care of that. We are so much worried. It's actually, all of this is nothing but the delusions of life. What is delusion? Again, delusion is something which we are so much bothered about, so much we get carried away with about, but which is not in reality truth, right? People in psychology also have a whole delusion therapies, and where people are get into more serious delusion inside delusion. We're already in one delusion, but we get into one more delusion into delusion. So what we are going to talk about is the overall delusion which all of us are covered and bounded with. We are all locked into those delusions. We are going to talk about those delusions and how Shankaracharya in each and every verse is going to hammer it. First, he's going to talk about we as human beings, how we are so much captivated by the wealth. We think that economic development is everything. And we spend the quality time of ours. We spend more than 8 to 12 hours only for one thing, that is to run behind wealth, right? So now Shankaracharya is going to take his hammer and he's going to smash that aspect of us. What are you doing? Okay. Second, he's going to talk when you have wealth, when you accumulated wealth. The second thing is, for a man, woman is the source of pleasure. For a woman, a man is a source of pleasure. And now he's going to shatter that concept also, that you are so mudha that you are running behind something which is just a manipulation of just flesh. Beyond the skin, there's nothing else. If I tell you, you can have sambhog with this person, but this person doesn't have a skin, it's like, you get so this one, right? So that is how we are. Just beyond the skin, we are all the same. So that's what Shankaracharya is going to talk about. This is just summary. We're going to go in detail and really going to shatter all of this. Then he's going to talk about family. We say family, and we struggle so much for family. He's saying, what family you're talking about? Previous, you had some other father and mother and you struggled so much. This lifetime, you have some other father, mother, husband, wife, children. And future, you'll have some other husband, wife, father, mother, children. So, and then why are you in so much of moha? And you want to do everything, but you're forgetting. In spite of all this, what you're forgetting is Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudamati. You're forgetting to worship Govinda. Okay. So let's get into it. Shloka by shloka, we will talk about this. Okay, so I'll share the slide with you. Just 1 second. Okay, these are the shlokas. This is the first shloka. So let us chant also. If somebody can chant together, that's also good.
Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. Samprapte sannihite kale, Samprapte sannihite kale, Nahi nahi rakshati dukrunkarane, Nahi nahi rakshati dukrunkarane.
So in this shloka, this is the first shloka which he spoke. He said very clearly, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudamate. 3 times he's telling the same thing to just worship Govinda, worship Govinda, worship Govinda. And what is he telling? Mudamate, you are fools, right? These rules of grammar, Dukkankarane, means the rules of grammar will not save you at the end when the time has come. That's what the time kala we're talking about. We are talking about our death. When the time comes, our any of these things is not going to help us. Either your wealth, your husband, wife, children, neither the whatever you have learned, so many degrees, what we are getting, we are struggling so hard to get the degrees. None of them are going to help us. Once I just mute everybody. Okay. So this is what Shankaracharya is explaining here. And here, what does it mean? Why is he telling only Govindam? Why not he said Bhaja Krishna, Bhaja Krishna? Why didn't he tell to say Bhaja Vishnu, Bhaja Vishnu? Why didn't he tell Bhaja Shiva, Bhaja Shiva? Why didn't he tell Bhaja Ganesh, Bhaja Ganesh? Right? It's something to question, right? Shankaracharya was such an exalted Acharya, and he just simply like that, he's not going to use certain words which has no value to that, right? So why did he use Govindam? Why not any other name? Why not any other deity? Why not anybody else? Because Shankaracharya, who is Shiva himself, he knows that Ishwaraha Paramaha Krishna Sachad Ananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karna Karna. The Anadir Adir Govinda, there, what is Brahma using the name for the Lord? He's not telling Anadir Adir Krishna, Anadir Adir Ganesha, he's not telling Anadir Adir Shanmuga, no, right? He's telling Anadir Adir Govindam, Sarva Karana Karanam, right? So this is what, see, it's also the great Vaishnava Acharyas, they explain that when you take all the names, like we have Vishnu Sahasranam, 1,000 names. Vishnu is not just limited to thousands name, but he has unlimited names. When you put all the names into a filter, and you filter it, again you filter it, again you filter it. The best name which suits the supreme absolute truth is Govinda. Then the same thing, what did Draupadi call out when she was dragged out in during her Ekavastra Kalam? So during her periods, just the time Dushasana came and pulled her out, and then she was having so much strong and powerful of her husbands. In any of these situations, she looked into everything. She looked at Bhishma Pitama also. But end of the time, she just lifted her hands. She didn't call out Krishna. She didn't call out Vasudev. She called out only Govinda, right? So the name Govinda is what the best suits to address the supreme absolute truth. That's the reason why Shankaracharya here is telling us, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Modamate. Just worship Govinda, worship Govinda, worship Govinda. He is the one who is master of the senses. He's the one who gives pleasure to the senses. He's the one who gives pleasure to the ghosts and to the whole humankind, and to not just humankind, to everything and everything. Okay, so now, and then what is the next? Why is this so important for us in here and now is what we need to understand. Most of the time we get stuck in this aspect of life. What is that aspect of life we get stuck is we have this, we are talking about delusion. This whole shlokas are called Moha Mudgara. That means it's supposed to remove our Moha, supposed to shatter our Moha. What is that Moha? What is the delusion? Why is that we have to worship Govinda? Why is it telling that rules of grammar will not help me? So that's what the Moha here we're talking about is our conditioning. All of us are conditioned by so many of these things. Since from the time we are born till now, we are nothing but a conditioned being, right? We are conditioned being, if you're born in a certain family, you're conditioned to act and behave in that particular way. If you're born in certain religion, you're conditioned to act and behave in a particular way. If you're born in a certain country, you're born in, you have to act in a way which is suitable for that particular thing. Again, we are conditioned, but that is not we are meant for. We are not here just to be a Hindu, just to be a Muslim, just to be a Christian, or just to be a father or a mother, or all these are nothing but conditioning. See, there is like a small analogy to make us understand that there was a patient in his early ages. So he went to the doctor and he said, oh, you have this issue, you need to have this tablet. After some time, oh, you got this issue now, you should have this tablet. After some time, you should, oh, you have another issue, you should have little more of these tablets with this injection or that thing you need to take. After the age of 40, 50, they don't even ask anything. We are so conditioned that we think this is what life is. Life will not move ahead until unless I pop in some tablets. Right? That is how life, if you see, especially elders who are more than 50, 55, like that, they will have one box, separate box kept only for medicine, right? For everything, for morning, okay, fine, this one, evening, this one. They think that this is what our life should be. We are conditioned in such a way that we don't see things beyond tablets. We don't see things that, okay, we have an ability to heal ourselves. We can live and blossom in our life in a much better way. We know, but we are conditioned like this only it should be. And we are so conditioned again with the aspect of teachers, like how we think that, okay, fine, only if you go through first standard, second standard, third standard, then 10th standard, very important, you need to focus on it. You cannot go, you have no holidays, you have no nothing, you need to focus. That is your turning point of your life. That's how we are conditioned. And then after that, oh, you need to have a degree, otherwise you cannot do anything in life. And we are conditioned with that. And without having a job, you are nothing. You need to have a job. We are all conditioned to become slaves. The whole education system, which is being designed in the way that we are becoming slaves of whatever, I have no idea. But end of the day, we are becoming enslaved. That's why Shankaracharya is telling, Mudhamate, we are mudhas, because we are not giving importance to the real goal of our life. We are not giving importance. We are getting into a delusion, and we are ruining the human form of life, and which is very, 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 very rare. We think that human form of our life is, we are the most populated among all the species right now, and we are growing. We are the one who is overpopulating the whole world. But actually, to come to this human form of life is very rare. 84 lakh species you need to cross beyond to come to this human form of life. Only in this human form of life we have this ability to inquire, to invest, to find out what am I, why am I suffering here. None of these questions are asked by any other species. A cat or a dog or anything else will never question any of the integrities of life. Only in this human form of life we have this ability. And this human form of life is very, very, very rare. That's the reason why it's a life of responsibility. Say, for example, in a courthouse situation, the doorkeeper does a mistake. He's just chastised. Oh, you should not do like this. Next time you will be fined, or you will be removed from job. Not that much also, just chastised, that's all. And the person who's typing, he does one mistake. Okay, fine, or correct it, don't do this again. This is also chastised. But if the judge does a mistake, and then it's a very grave thing, right? He will be sacked from his job. Why is that like that? Because that's a role of responsibility. In the same way, this human form of life is a role of responsibility. Because karmas, a tiger comes and he eats some, even humans, or a tiger comes and eats a cat or a dog. He is not chastised. He is not done anything, because in that species, that's how life is. But in this human form of life, we are meant for doing a certain very, very important aspect of life. But none of us, we discuss the whole universe, the whole creation. More than 99% of us forget about what this human form of life is meant for. We think only nothing. We don't think beyond economic development. The whole life is centered around economic development. There are 4 things: dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. But we get stuck only with artha. We want only artha and satisfy our kama. So that's exactly the delusion what Shankaracharya ji here is breaking through this Moha Mudgara shlokas. Okay. And see, again, when we talk about dharma, artha, kama, a person, when these are all finite things, right? There's something called finite and infinite things, right? So these are all limited. There's nothing which is beyond. So what we're talking about is an infinite thing. So that is shreyas. We're not talking about prayers. This is the difference between shreyas and prayers. Okay. And now, the first thing what Shankaracharya again is telling here is Kala. Kala is something which will not stop for anybody, which is something which is very ruthless. Kala does not stop for you to wait. Oh no, mujhe aur thoda samay de do, aur thoda samay de do. I will prepare myself. No, it's not going to wait for anything. And the best part of Kala is it is so much in incognito mode that we don't even know. None of us here can tell for sure that tomorrow morning I'm going to wake up. We have no guarantee at all, right? So that is how Kala is. So we need to take charge of our life here and now. Today am I alive? That's the only reality we have. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is mystery. So I have no idea about tomorrow. What I have today, my only reality is today. So I need to do my best. Just for today, I'm going to be honest. Just for today, I will do what I have to do as the runas which I have got with the immediate connections, with my husband, with my daughter, with my father, with my mother. Just for today. Tomorrow I will not get a chance to ask forgiveness. Just for today, let me ask forgiveness. Just for today, let me love them to the best of my ability. Right? That is how Kala is. So we need to learn to start living in the present. We always talk about live in the present. And we think that present is going to come, that time we will live. No, present is now, right here, right now. Okay. That's what Shankaracharya ji is explaining us to us here. He's making us from mudhas to vivekas. That means he's making us intelligent, to make us understand this human form of life is meant for athata brahma jignasa, to inquire about the absolute truth, not for anything else. Economic development automatically happen. This is what he's going to talk about in the second shloka. Let's hear that.
मूढजहि धनागमतृष्णा कुरु सद्बुद्धिं मनसि वितृष्णा मूढजहि धनागमतृष्णा कुरु सद्बुद्धिं मनसि वितृष्णा यल्लभसे निज कर्मोपात्तं यल्लभसे निज कर्मोपात्तं वित्तं तेन विनोदय चित्तं वित्तं तेन विनोदय चित्तम्.
Here, what is it telling? Oh fool, oh Mudha, give up your thirst. We have this thirst. We have this unquenching thirst for what? To amass wealth, right? We want, okay, I want this. Okay, I want this car. I want this house. I want this thing. I want that thing. The whole life, if you see from our, when we come to our senses, the only thing which we focus on is, oh, I need to have like this car. I need to have like that house. I need to have this. I need to, that Trishna is what is pushing us towards that. Okay, amass wealth. Okay. Devote your mind your to what? To the real rasa, to the real thing. Keep your mind engaged. Okay, that's more what we need to do. Right now, our mind is engaged in what? Our mind is engaged in our to fulfilling the Trishna, but our mind should be engaged for Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudamate. And we'll think, what will happen to my house? What will happen to my food? What will happen to my children? What will happen if I do only Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam? Right? But here, what is Shankaracharya telling here? When you engage yourself by doing that activity, automatically, as per the results of your action, results of your karma which you've already done in the past, you already have this quota for this lifetime, things will manifest. That is exactly we need to be working on. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. When you do your dharma, what's our dharma as a human being is athato brahma jignasa, that automatically your artha will come. You don't have to work from 5 to 7 or for 12 hours slogging for us to survive. Roti kapda makan is not our goal of life. Even animals are living. Their 84 lakh species are taken care of. So who are we? Why do we have to think that, oh no, I am the only one deprived of this? No, not at all. Only what we are deprived of is our greed, is not our needs. Our needs are automatically taken care of because everybody comes with a package of life. This is your quota. You will be getting this house, you'll be having this family, you'll be having this car, you'll be having this, whatever is your quota is already there designed for us. But we are not satisfied with that. That's the only reason why we are unsatisfied in this world. That's the only reason, that the Trishna which is pushing us. As you know, we have discussed earlier also about the 99 Club. I think all of you know about 99 Club by now. We have been talking about this every time. Anybody don't know, then I can repeat the story. Anybody don't know? If you're not part of the 99 Club, I know till now I've enrolled everybody to 99 Club. So if you have not enrolled, you have to let me know. I will enroll you now. Who has not enrolled? Raise your hand. Okay. Janviji is not enrolled to 99 Club. Okay. Who else is not enrolled to 99 Club? Okay.
I have not enrolled, Prabhu.
Oh, you're also not enrolled. Okay, very nice. Okay, today we'll
No,
enroll
no.
you. Okay.
Okay, Prabhu.
Oh, you also not enrolled. Reshmaji also not enrolled. Okay, we'll enroll you also today. Okay. Somiliji also not enrolled to 99 Club. अरे बाबा क्यों इतना लेट हो गया enroll करने के लिए? Okay, let's enroll all of you today again to the 99 Club. It's in relation to this shloka. Okay, it's a very wonderful club. And most of us are unaware that we are already part, so we will make it aware today. Okay, so what is this 99 Club? There was a king, and this king was a nice king, and he was having a beautiful palace, and up in front of his palace there was a very beautiful big lawn where he used to walk around and stroll around there. And he used to walk around, and he had a big balcony also. He used to stand there and see beyond his palace, beyond his road of his palace road, and there was a small hut and this big farm there, and the big gardens and everything. The person who was staying there, and then there was always chill of the house, like everybody's talking, laughing, happy about so many things in life. So they were all living there peacefully. And every time the king used to stand on his balcony and see and hear that so much of laughter, so much of love, so many things, he's telling, I am the king, and I myself am not able to relish that kind of happiness. And what is it that they are doing that they are so happy there? So he wanted to find out. So then he said, okay, fine. He called the minister and he told the minister, I want to find out what is keeping this family so happy. I want to also be happy. I also want to know what is the key for that. Then the minister said, okay, fine. If you want to know, then it's going to cost you. He said, okay, what is that? Give me 100 gold coins. He said, okay, take 100 gold coins, but tell me what is it that keeping them happy there? Then he took the 100 gold coins. He went to the house when it was dark in the night. He opened the bag of 100 gold coins. He took one gold coin, put it in his pocket. 99 gold coins, he packed it again and kept it in front of the door, and he ran away. The next day morning, this family woke up. The husband opened the door, and oh, behold, he saw a beautiful bag. And then he lifted the bag, Chun, 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 there were coins. He opened it. He said, wow, gold coins. We are so blessed today. We have got gold coins. Come, come, let's count. And then he started counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. Array, I didn't count properly. Array, tum count karo, Meri Patni. 1, 2, 3, 4. She also counted 98, 99. Array, Chan, son, you count. He also counted 99, 99, 99. Array, Baba. Then he thought, okay, fine. See what this is what I will do. So till now, I've been working for 3-4 hours there in the farm. Today, I will start doing little more so that we can make this complete 100. So then our life will be complete. We'll have 100 gold coins. We can say to everybody, we have 100 gold coins. Then he said, okay. Everybody said, okay, it's good to have 100 gold coins. So he started working extra from that day. And after some time, the wife started thinking, Arey Baba, why he's working so hard? But we need to buy some furniture. We need to do this, do that. And then she went to IKEA, newly opened it is, and then she went and bought so many other furniture. And then 2 gold coins were missing. Husband came and he saw, I'm struggling so hard extra now to get that 1 gold coin, and now you have already spent 2 gold coins. Who is going to earn this back? And then they started fighting about it. And then after that, the son, he thought, Arey, my husband, my father and mother are fighting over it now. I want to buy some toys. The new Xbox has come. So he went, he took 1 gold coin and he bought it. And he came back. They started shouting at him, Arey, how can you do that? You cannot see your parents are struggling so hard. For every coin, we are struggling so hard to make it 100 gold coin. And then I said, okay. Then the king and the minister were walking that evening towards that road. And then they heard that they're yelling and shouting at each other. And then king said, what did you do to them? Till now, I've never heard yelling and shouting in this house. What is it happening there? He said, Maharaj, now they are part of the 99 club. He said, what is this 99 club? Then he said that all of us in reality are blessed with these 99 gold coins. All of us have right now, right here, a shelter on our head. Right now, right here, we have had our wonderful meal. Right now, right here, we have all our loved ones around us. Right now, right here, there's nothing which you can in reality crib about. Right now, right here, there's 0 things which we can crib about. But we're not satisfied. We want that one extra in life. Only if I get that extra, then my life is done. No, I have this car which I'm going to my office every day, but I think it's become old. No. Then if I get that other car, only then I'll be happy. Then I will take an EMI, take this thing and get that. And that's where the anxiety starts. That the moment we start working towards happiness, that's the time our misery starts. That the moment we stop working towards happiness and we withdraw, that's the time when real peace happens. So all of us now, it's like we're part of the 99 club by being dissatisfied with what we have. If you learn to become satisfied here and now, what we have today, today's day will be the best day of our life. In the same way, day after day, day after day, day after day. But we keep cribbing about situations and the things which is beyond our control. This which is something beyond our control. There's nothing which you can crib about today and yell and shout about it, crib about it, cry about it today, right? But as of today, you're blessed with everything. Enjoy your blessings. That's what is called being a part of the 99 club, is to learn to live in gratitude, learn to live in satisfaction. Okay. So that's what even Shankaracharya here is explaining to us, that we are all mudhas. Mudhas for what? Running behind amassing wealth. Because that is not the goal of human form of life. The goal of human form of life is Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam Mudhamate. Is to worship Govinda, worship Govinda, worship Govinda is what we are here for. Okay. Now, the next sloka will go.
Naristanabhara nabhidesham drishtva maga mohavesham. Naristanabhara nabhidesham drishtva maga mohavesham. Etanmam savasadi vikaram. Etanmam savasadi vikaram. मनसि विचिन्तय वारं वारं मनसि विचिन्तय वारं वारम्.
Here, Shankaracharya ji is explaining to us that do not get drowned in delusion by going wild with passion by seeing the woman's navel and breast. Keep reminding yourself that these are nothing but modifications of human flesh. So now, this is how we are so much deluded into this material world. The basic thing which is binding us into this material world is nothing but that Hridaya Granthi. That's what Bhagavatam talks about. Hridaya Granthi, the knot which is tying, which is brought us into this material creation and tying and keeping us, is nothing but the knot of lust. Lust is what is holding us tight and tight into this material creation. So now this is what he's telling. This is nothing but a modification of flesh and blood, nothing much. It's nothing but it's a lump of flesh. And for that lump of flesh, people commit great violence. People commit the greatest adventures. The people commit the greatest of the great things in this world, just for satisfying, just for touching that modification of flesh. There's nothing much. But again, as I told you, this is nothing, there's nothing beyond the skin layer. Skin is so prominent. That's how we are deluded by the modification of the skin and the muscle. It's actually foolishness, right? So this is what exactly happened. This is a nice analogy and a story to make us understand and to ingrain into us that how we are so much deluded to run behind a woman's navel. Like you can see just by looking into why do we have these beautiful pictures and beautiful posters of anything they want to sell. You can see that, they'll see to that they zoom into the woman's breast and the woman's navel. Have you noticed any songs, any advertisements you do, it will not sell until unless a woman's breast and woman's navel is displayed. Even toothpaste, they will come, everything. Why? Because that is how we are deluded. That's the reality. If you want to do any sort of marketing, this is the best way. You can use these two objects, you can market and sell anything. But our process here is not to get into more and more of delusion, but to come out of it. So there's a nice analogy, like simple story again to understand. There was this great sage. He is a sannyasi, and he wanted, he was like, a role of a sannyasi is they live only on bhiksha. Okay, Bhavati Bhikshan Dehi. So he used to travel from village to village, house to house. And when they get Bhiksha, they in turn bless that house with prosperity and abundance. So now he went from one village to another village. And then the door opened and there was a beautiful young lady who opened the door for him. And then she was a prostitute by profession. And the sannyasi was so stunned, the monk was so stunned, looking at the beauty of this lady, that he said, Bhavati Bhikshan Dehi. He said, okay, I'll get you some rice and other things. He said, no, Bhavati Bhikshan Dehi, I want Bhiksha. He said, what is it that you want? He said, I want the Bhiksha of you. Then she said, this sage is completely got deluded with my beauty. I need to help him. So then she said, okay, fine, no problem, Maharaj. You can come to me after 7 days. I'm going to give you what you're looking for. What is in me, I'm going to give it to you. She said, okay, fine, I'm going to come in 7 days. In those 7 days, that Maharaj, that sannyasi was completely off track in what he has to do. His goal of life was Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudamate. Now he was just doing Bhaja. His whole mind was contemplating on this beautiful form of her breast, beautiful form of her navel, beautiful form of her hips. And then he was so much deluded by that. And 7 days, he said, all the 7 days he was doing that, dreaming about how he's going to enjoy this beautiful form. And in these 7 days, she called her mother. And she said that, okay, I want mom, I want you to arrange for a few very beautiful silver vessels, containers with a silk cloth on that. He said, okay, what is wrong? What is it? Why do you want all this? The sannyasi Maharaj is going to come and see me in 7 days. So I want to do this seva for him. He said, okay, fine. She said, okay, I'll help you with this. And then she called the barber. And then she told to the barber, I want you to shave my head. Then he said, okay, you're gone mad, you're gone crazy or what? He said, no, no, please do what I'm telling you. So first day she shaved her head. And then the next day she said, okay, fine, I want to start taking laxatives. I want to, and she started having so much loose motions. And she said she started collecting and keeping in one container. And another day she was started vomiting and keeping that in another container. So like that, all the parts, all the mucus, the blood, the flesh, and whatever she was able to remove it out, she saved it. All the urine, what she used to do, she saved it and kept it. All the stool, what she used to remove, she used to put it in another container, and she covered it nicely. And the seventh day, the Maharaj, the sannyasi, he came with so much blooming, saying that, okay, today I have an opportunity where I can get bhiksha of this beautiful young lady. And she was wearing her gungat and she was sitting. And then she said, okay, where is my bhiksha? He said, your bhiksha is right here in these silver pots. So then he opened one cloth, there was hair. What is this? And then another cloth, it's stinking, it's urine. Another one, it's stool. Oh, it is your vomit and all this. Then he said, Maharaj, you were attracted just by this. This is what you were attracted to. So I just removed all of them and I kept it for you so that you can enjoy. And then he came to his senses. So that is how we are so much fascinated. And you also know the story of who's that sage? Somebody can remind me about how he swam through the river when it was a storm. Because he wanted to see his wife, because he had gone to,
Tulasidas.
yes, correct, Tulsidas. How he swam the big stormy river where there was no log, but it was a dead body whom he used to crop, and then he went. And then he thought it was a rope. Then it was actually a snake hanging through the wall. He lifted it, he climbed up, and he went to meet his wife. So that's how we are bound into this material creation. That's how Durga Mata has created, Brahmaji has created this biggest knot, the biggest lock which is locking us is lust. So here, that's what Shankaracharya is explaining to us, that this is nothing but a modification of flesh. So we need to learn to overcome that. We need to shatter this illusion, this delusion which we have, that this is what it is. Definitely, it's the whole process here is not to put down the beauty of a woman. The beauty of a woman is meant for a particular purpose, but this beauty of woman is taking you away from the main goal of life. The main goal of life for all of us is Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Moramati. That's the reason why there's Varnashrama being created. You are a brahmachari for a certain period of time, 25 years. Next 25 years, you have all the freedom, you have the license to enjoy each one's physical bodies. And the next 25 years, and this is not permanent. For us, we think that Grahasthashram is permanent. I'm going to grow old with you. We have these dreams, right? I'm going to grow old with you. That is again a delusion. We need to learn that this is the process of life. Next is Grahasthashram. Then is Vanaprasthashram, where you're still staying together, but you're no more wanting to enjoy each other. But here, both of you are ready to help each other to evolve in your life. And then at last, we take sannyas, where you completely take up to the spiritual path of life. So that is how our evolution happens, not just being carried away. Okay. So this is how we grow. Okay. Next shloka.
Nalini dalagata jalamati taralam tadvajjivitam atishaya chapalam. Nalini dalagata jalamati taralam tadvajjivitam atishaya chapalam. Vidhi vyadhyabhimanagrastam Vidhi vyadhyabhimanagrastam Lokam shokahatam cha samastam Lokam shokahatam cha samastam.
Here, the life of a person is uncertain as a drop of water trembling on a lotus leaf. Okay, note that the whole world remains a prey to diseases, to ego and grief. So this is how we are in this another delusion, thinking that we are very permanent in this material world. We are permanently living. There's nothing which can stop me from not living. All of us want only to uh, live eternally. Like even the great demons, the whole process here is to become free from death. Ravana, he wanted not to die. All the great demons, you name them, all of them want the same thing. I don't want to die, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. Even now, that's what's the most amazing thing, as per the Yaksha Prashna also, right? When the Yaksha asked these questions to Yudhishthira, the question he asked was, what's the most amazing thing in this world? He said that, okay, the most amazing thing in this world is I see that my grandfather has died, my grandmother has died, my in-laws have died, my children, so many other people all around me are dying. But I think that death is not going to come to me. I'm so sure that death is not going to come to me. And we do not, if we know that the death is going to come to us, our whole life will change. Right? When you know that, okay, fine, if I tell you, as per your chart, you have only 7 days to live, are we going to do the same things as we are doing today? Our whole paradigm of life will shift, right? Then we start doing actually which is required for me in here and now. That's what we start doing. We don't get bothered about all the petty things which is happening here and now. We will do things which needs to be done, what is important for you, right? So that's exactly what Shankaracharya is teaching us here, that here most of the time what we do is we think that the God is the means for everything. Why do we go to the temple? First thing we go to the temple is, oh Lord, I have this thing, please make me pass in that. Oh, I have this issue, please make that happen. Oh, I'm not getting this, please get me that. So we think that the God is a means for our survival, for our happiness. It's like a counter where you can go and then you can say this many coconut, this money, this many, this I should get back. So we always, the whole process of religion, not just the Vedic culture and all the religions, this is what is happening right now, where God has become a means. But in reality, God is not the means. He is the goal of our existence. That's what Shankaracharya in this whole shlokas is explaining, that God is not a means for us. Right now, we take him as means because I want this, I'll go to God. I want this, I'll go. This one I want, I'll go to God. In our prayers also, first thing when you fold our hand, we do not pray that, oh Lord, I'm yours unconditionally. First thing we'll pray is, oh, mujhe ye de do, mujhe wo de do, mujhe ye dila do, mujhe wo dila do. We have a big list, right? Oh, remove me from this situation, get me that situation. Oh, I want to this thing, I want that thing, right? We always think this God is like a provider in ATM, but anytime you can get anything from him. But that's not what the God is. God is, we need to, that's what Shankaracharya is making us understand, that the Lord is not the means, but he is the goal of our life, goal of our existence. We are mudhas if we are doing stupid things, like asking for petty things. Like even, as you know, the story of Dhruva, he was sitting on his father's lap. So his real son, he came, and the first wife's son, he came and he sat. He wanted to sit, and he removed him from there, and he went and sat. So he got so angry that I want to get a kingdom bigger than my father. So he said, okay. Then he went. He said no. He went to his mother and he said, where is Krishna? Where is Vishnu? I want to go meet him. I want to get a kingdom bigger than my father. He said, no, it's very difficult to do this and all that. Then Narada Muni came and then he taught him, you can do this. How you need to go to the jungle and you need to do tapasya. No, I can do. He's a very small kid, but he said, I will do it. So he did it. He started doing so much of tapasya, and he came to a certain level that he even stopped breathing. The whole universal prana got stuck because of his tejas. And that time Vishnu came and he blessed him. He came with his conch and he touched him here and he blessed him. And at that moment of time, he started crying. He said, I was just looking for pieces of glass. I did all this tapasya just for pieces of glass, but here you are, the beautiful diamond of life. So I'm so stupid that I was just asking for pieces of glass. In the same way, what we are doing all our life is nothing but looking for the pieces of glass, but forgetting that we are here for something much, much bigger in life. So let's understand that we are meant for Athato Brahma Jignasa. We are meant only and only to do Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam Mudamate. Everything else will fall in line. Okay. And also to understand from here a few other points. Okay, and in this samsara, we always need something to hold on to, right? We need an anchor to hold on to. And most of the time, that's the issues which we have. We think that the anchor for us in our life is wealth. We think the anchor for in my life is this person. We think that the anchor for me is this job. We think this anchor, these are the different anchors which we have. Because otherwise it's so jivana talamala. It's like we are, it's uncertainty is there. But we always want certainty. What we do, we anchor ourselves to certain things and certain situations, to certain people. But all of this are Nashvara. All of this are just like boom, it will go away. Small little wind, the drop will fall, boom, gone, right? So that's how we are all falling prey to diseases, to ego. This is mine and it has to remain mine. So, and what will end up with that? You will end up in grief. So that is how we are so much in delusion of this material creation. But we have to learn here that our real goal, our real God is not a means, but he is the goal. So our only purpose in this human form of life is nothing but Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudamate. Is to worship Govinda, worship Govinda, worship Govinda. Okay. Now the next shloka.
यावद्वित्तोपार्जनसक्तः तावन्निज परिवारो रक्तः यावद्वित्तोपार्जनसक्तः तावन्निज परिवारो रक्तः पश्चाज्जीवति जर्जरदेहे पश्चाज्जीवति जर्जरदेहे वार्तां कोऽपि न पृच्छति गेहे वार्तां कोऽपि न पृच्छति गेहे.
So here, as long as you are fit and able to support your family, okay, until then they are interested in you. After that, at the when the life is out of your body, no one even asks about your whereabouts. So now Shankaracharya is breaking with this hammer that what family you're talking about, what people you think, your wife, your children is what are going to be there for you, but nobody is there going to be there for you. Two things we have to do your journey alone. First thing is your death. Second thing is self-realization. These two journeys you need to travel alone. Everything else, you have people around you. And when these people are around you, till only when? Till you are able to support your family, till you are the source, or you are an ATM of so many other, not just wealth, of many other things. So as long as you remain, then people around you will be interested. Once that is gone, your prana is gone, nobody even asks about it. That's reality, right? So that is how we are. And that is how the reality, even from the Upanishads, we talk about. This is the shloka where this is told by Yagnavakra, so great Rishi. He is telling that it is not for the sake of the husband, my dear, that he is loved. Most of the time we say that I love my husband, right? And most of the time we say that I love my wife. Most of the time we say that I love my children. Most of the time we say that I love everybody. We talk about love, right? So now that love, that moha of love, what we are talking about is going to be shattered. If you're ready, I'm going to read this shloka. Otherwise, I will skip this shloka because it's very heartbreaking for many people. You tell me if you don't want to listen, please raise your hand. I don't want to listen to this. Everybody sure? The concept of love will crash. It's okay? Nobody's lifting hand. Everybody is so strong, powerful people. Very nice. Okay.
Yes, required.
Okay. Please listen then. Okay. hope all of you will pardon me for breaking your hearts now. Now, this is not Yajnavalkya is telling to his wife Maitreya. He's telling, it is not for the sake of the husband, my dear, that he is loud. Most of the time we say that I'm loving my husband, right? He's now telling, it's not for the sake of the husband, my dear, that he is loud, but for one's own sake that he is loud. It is not for the sake of the wife, my dear, that she is loud, but it is for one's own sake that she is loud. It is not for the sake of the son, my dear, that they are loud, but it is for their own sake that they are loud. It is not for the sake of the wealth, my dear, that they are loud, but they are loud for their own sake. You know, this is the reality. No one loves anybody for them. Everybody loves everybody for themselves. You get the point? That is how the reality of this creation is. I love my wife not because I love her, because I'm lacking something. I want her in my life. So there is something lacking within me. That's the reason why I need to fill that gap with this person. I love my children not because they are my children. I love them because there is something in me which I want. It's all of them is too selfish. That's how the reality is. We all, everything what we speak about, we do it for one's own self, not for the other person. End of the day, we cover it up in such a way that aapke liye main itna sab kar raha hu. It's all for you. But in reality, it's nothing for them, but it's all for us. So that is the reality of this world. So it's like Shankaracharya here, he's giving us a mirror and showing us, okay, this is what it is. I want you to wake up, and to what you should do again, wake up and do what? After crashing all of this, what we are going to do? One simple thing, the real grounding we get, the real support system we have is nothing but Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Muda Mate. You Mudas just worship Govinda. He is the only shelter, he is the only support. Abhaya Charanara Vindare. When you hold on to his lotus feet, that's the only moment that one will be Abhaya, fear from all fears. Otherwise, every time we will be fearful. We are here to become independent and make everybody around us also independent, not be dependent on each other, not always, if I am there, you're there. No, you should also be there, I should also be there, and we are connected to all of us. Okay.
यावत् पवनो निवसति देहे तावत् पृच्छति कुशलं गेहे यावत् पवनो निवसति देहे तावत् पृच्छति कुशलं गेहे गतवति वायौ देहापाये गतवति वायौ देहापाये भार्या बिभ्यति तस्मिन् काये भार्या बिभ्यति तस्मिन् काये.
Here, Shankaracharya is telling that as long as prana or the life air is in the body, people will ask for your well-being. Okay, how are you? How is everything? Everything fine? Kushal Mangal, we will ask about it. So once the wind is out, once your prana is out, not even your own wife will be afraid of this very same body whom she used to adore it, whom she used to hug it, whom she used to love about it. Once the prana is gone, arey isko pehle nikalo, remove the body from the house, right? So that is exactly the reality of this world. And we think that, okay, oh, they love me so much. As long as just the prana goes, this body is nothing. You just have to dump it. You need to go and bury it or burn it. So immediately it's going to happen, chuck. Nothing else happens so fast than the cremation process, right? So that's how fast we need to get rid of the body. So what's the sake of doing so much and everything for this physical body when it is so nashwara? Okay. Okay, now let's understand one important point here with another story. We are doing everything now, but what is it that is pushing us to do this again? Right? But for us, we think that, oh, my wife is everything, my family is everything. Oh, I want only this person, or I want only to get this situation in my life. I want to this job in my life. I want to pass in these things. What is that? Okay, what is that? What is the father of all of this we can call it as like we can like a sin. What is the father of all sins? So there's a nice analogy again to understand what is it that is pushing us to do all these things. Okay, for this it was a very nice brahmana who was studying in Kashi, and he went back to his village after his studies. And after studies, when they go back home, first thing happens is they get them married. So they got her married, and she was a beautiful young girl, but they were not had much education, but she was just a shepherd, like she was taking care of buffaloes and cows and everything. And then she got married, and the first day when they were all together, husband and wife, the wife asked a very simple question. Can you tell me, you are so learned, I know that you have studied in Varanasi, and you have so many sages and so many things. Just this one question is pondering in my mind. Can you please tell me, what is the father of sins? Why do people commit sin? What is the root cause? What is the father of it? Paap kaun hai? Paap ka baap kaun hai? Mane, who is the father of sin? So he said, oh, I never understood who is Paap ka baap kaun hai. I studied so much, I know so many shlokas, I know so many things, but Paap ka baap kaun hai? Mujhe pata nahi. And then he said, okay, fine, let me go back to Varanasi and to other holy places and figure it out. See, exactly the same thing what all of us do is, once we are questioned on something, most of the time what we do is we either want to get into our phone and check internet, or we want to go somewhere and ask it. All most of the time we want to go out and check the answers. We do not go in to seek for answers, right? So most of the time we want to search out, we want to find out. But once we start learning the other way around, is to start going inside, all the answers you will get. All the answers are not outside. All the situations are not outside. It's all inside. So he was he thought, okay, I can get my answers back in Varanasi. He started walking back to Varanasi. So he started going. Once he went there, he was almost about to enter. It was already getting late. And then he saw on the entrance of Varanasi, again, there was a prostitute house there. And actually prostitutes are very intelligent people. So they have saved so many souls by their knowledge. And she said, okay, oh Maharaji, every time I see you studying, and I heard you got married, and why did you come back here again? He said, Re nahi baba, my wife, she is not that educated, but she asked me a very question which I'm not going to be able to find the answer. So that's why I came back here to find out the answer and to go back and tell her. He said, okay, what is that question? Can you tell me? He said, Paap ka baap kaun hai? He said, who is the father of sins? He said, okay, Maharaj, you are already tired and you have been traveling so much. I want to request you to at least today evening, you can stay at my place and take rest. He said, Shantam Papam, Shantam Papam. How can I stay at your place? He said, no, please, it's my request. He said, no, I cannot do such a thing. He said, okay, fine, don't stay in my house. At least there's a house next door where you can rent out. If you please stay, I'm going to give you 10 gold coins. So, oh, you're going to give me 10 gold coins? Okay, fine, I'll stay there tonight. So he stayed the next door. And then the next day, he got up, and then she came and she said, oh, Maharaj, you're such a great Pandit. You have learned so many things. I am such a papi. I only one request I have from you. He said, okay, what is that? I want you to at least have one meal in my home. He said, one meal in your home? No. How I can do it? I cannot do that. I am Uchukoti Brahman. I cannot eat food from your home. No, Maharaji, please, I'll be blessed. You can bless me by doing that. If you do that, I can have some more gold coins I can give you. Okay, I'll give you 100 gold coins, please. At least, please come to my house and have me. Okay, ठीक है. He was started thinking, अगर मुझे 100 gold coins मिलेंगे, अभी इसमें से 100 gold coin, 110 gold coins. Oh, I can take this gift from my wife, that gift from, I can buy something. I can buy something. Okay, fine. Okay, ठीक है. मैं दोपहर में lunch के लिए आ जाऊँगा. And then she went, and again she started cooking nicely. And then he came. Then afternoon happened. He came home. And then he said, Maharaji, one last request, please. He said, okay, what is it? He said, you're such a great soul, and you have this tejas in you. I'm so much mesmerized by that. I have only one request. He said, please, what is that? He said, Maharaji, one morsel I'll feed you. Only one morsel I'll feed you. At least I'll be blessed. At least I can touch you like that. One morsel I'll feed you. No, I cannot do like that. I cannot touch you. You cannot touch me. He said, no, Maharaji, please. They said, okay, fine. I'll give you 500 gold coins. Just one morsel. Then he thought, oh, okay, 500, 600, 610. Oh, it's so much if I get, then I can buy a land, I can have one cow and do everything back home. Okay, what, just she has to feed me, that's all. No, she said, okay, fine. And she made nice meal, like whole thing. And she started to, and he opened his mouth, and then chata, she slapped him. He said, "Arey, how dare you do like this?" He said, "Maharaj ji, आपने पूछा था क्वेश्चन, पाप का बाप कौन है? This is the पाप का बाप. This is your lobe. This is your greed. Is what is the पाप of बाप." So this is how we are entangled into this material world. This is how we think, okay, if I get this, it's okay, I can compromise a little bit. आज job नहीं करेंगे चलेगा, but I have to do this. Okay, chalega. We compromise. Our life becomes full of compromise. Again, for what? Again, it's for the greed. Greed for what? Which is something which is illusory. So there's no point. That's how we go on and on and on and on and on. Okay. So this is how it is. Once you leave this, the prana leaves the body. Even your most beloved ones, whom you're doing everything for them, are just going to immediately body ko cremate karo. So that's how it happens. So let's take charge of our life, and what we need to do again, not just sit down. What we need to do, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Moha. That's what we should do. Okay.
बालस्तावत् क्रीडासक्तः तरुणस्तावत् तरुणीसक्तः बालस्तावत् क्रीडासक्तः तरुणस्तावत् तरुणीसक्तः वृद्धस्तावत् चिन्तासक्तः वृद्धस्तावत् चिन्तासक्तः परमे ब्रह्मणि कोऽपि न रक्तः परमे ब्रह्मणि कोऽपि न रक्तः.
So what here Shankaracharya is explaining to us, as long as one is a child, when we are children, what we are fixed into, we are fixed into playing, right? So as long as once we are youthful, then we are fixed into opposite sex, right? And once we are old, then what we are fixed into, worrying, right? So this is how we are stuck into this material world. Once we are child, and the whole thing, what we forget here is Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Moha. When are we going to worship Govinda? When we are children, abhi time nahi hai, samay aayega, tumko Gita padhna hai na, samay aayega, hai na? Okay, and then when jap karna, arey, you're so young, this is a time for you to go and enjoy. What are you doing japa now? You're mad. Then samay aayega. And then when you grow old, we start worrying, अरे मेरे बच्चों को शादी करना है, अरे इनको स्कूल में भेजना है. So worry. So in this cycle, it keeps continuing, not this lifetime, many lifetimes, until unless you are strong enough today to break this cycle and to start doing Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Moha. We will remain in the same cycle. We went through the same cycle. Our parents went through the same cycle, and our children will also go to the same cycle. Okay, what is it? Get up, first to 10th standard, very important. 10th standard is very important. You don't have to skip one class also. And after that, oh, you have got university, you have to go, you have to get degree. And then, oh, you got degree now. Abhi to shadi karna hai, isko shadi karna hai. Oh, shadi ho gaya, abhi shadi hone hai, ek saal bhi nahi hua, bachcha hona hai, I want to see the grandson, Oh, grandson ho gaya, abhi grandson ka school jana hai. So where are we time for Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Moha. So this is how it is. And again, one more small story, and then we will wind up for today's thing. It's actually so many things are there. So if you want, we can have another session to continue and to complete this. So we will end today with another story.
Yeah, Prabhu, can we like finish this in a few classes, like all the shlokas? Is that okay?
Yeah, we can do that. No problem. Yeah.
So we can continue.
If you are sure itself is too heavy, might be.
I mean, it's good, Prabhu.
Okay, we'll do that. Don't worry.
These
Enough.
are
No, enough of dreams, Prabhu.
Enough of?
Enough of dreams, dreamy world,
Okay.
fairy tales.
Yeah, these are eye openers.
Yeah, true. Okay. Okay. In relation to this, let's finish the next shloka also. Both of them are related. Okay. Who is your wife? Okay, let's.
काते कान्ता कस्ते पुत्रः संसारो यमतीव विचित्रः काते कान्ता कस्ते पुत्रः संसारो यमतीव विचित्रः कस्य त्वं कः कुतः आयातः कस्य त्वं कः कुतः आयातः तत्त्वं चिन्तय तदिह भ्रातः तत्त्वं चिन्तय तदिह भ्रातः.
Here, Shankaracharya is explaining to us that who is your wife? He's asking, who is your wife? Who is your son? Right? Strange is the cycle of samsara. Whom do you belong to? And from where you have come from? Oh, brother, focus your mind on this. So most of the time we are so much captivated by with this moha of my wife, children, family, and so much linked. This is what my kutumba is. So with this is what I am. I belong to them. These are my family. This is my life, right? But in reality, if you're seeing now a smaller picture of life, we just know of this lifetime. But if you zoom out and you see the bigger picture of life, then all this becomes so insignificant. Previous life, I was cockroach and I had cockroach babies. I had cockroach wife and I was saying, this is my family. This is what my life is. And after that, I was a pig. These were my piglets. They were all running away. वो कीचड़ है, वो कीचड़ बहुत अच्छा है, वहाँ पे जाओ आप. तो यहाँ कीचड़ तो थोड़ा साफ है, यहाँ पे मत जाओ. So we were running behind all nice कीचड़ at that time, and it was so funny to play it like that as piglets and pigs. And then after that, we were monkeys. We were jumping here and there, having unlimited sexual enjoyments, because actually monkeys have enormous sex. And then after that, now we are human beings. And now we are doing the same thing again. This is my wife, this is my children, I have to do everything for them. This is what it is. But we are forgetting that this is the full cycle. We are just going round and round and round and round. We are not breaking that cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. We are not understanding that human form of life is meant for Athato Brahma Jignasa, to inquire about the absolute truth, to worship Govinda, nothing else other than worshiping Govinda. So that's what we are here. And it's very important for us to, we always say that we think that, okay, we have time. Karenge. Dap hai na, karenge. We will do chanting, no problem. Oh, reading Gita, okay, I will do. Let me go a little old. I have this thing to finish. Right? Most of the time, we always take excuses for, okay, I have this to finish, I have that to finish. Ye karna hai, wo karna hai. So we always keep going round and round those things. But we have to understand that we actually have no time. We have no idea how much we are going to live in, right? So let's understand how the Lord has arranges things for us. So let me tell you a nice small story. Okay, and this is a story of a great devotee. He was a nice devotee, and he used to chant so much nicely, do so much of charity, read so many shlokas. He always in satsanga. And nice, wonderful soul. And his desire was one simple thing. From his childhood, he was very wanting to be a devoted person. And his desire was, at least at the end of my life, I want to be very strict. But I want to know when is my end. All of us want to know, right? मुझे कब मृत्यु है, मगर मुझे पता चल गया, so I'll start planning. We'll start pre-planning everything. So he also said, I want to pre-plan it. I want this boon. So he worshipped Govinda and he was doing everything that is from his very younghood. And then Govinda appeared to him, Krishna appeared to him, and he said, okay, what is it that you want? Govinda, I love you so much. And then I'm so much wanting to be yours. but just give me one hint. Just tell me, okay, fine, now is the time for you to start worshipping me. Then I will start worshipping you. No problem. I said, oh wow, no problem. Tathastu. And then wo chale gaye Govind ji. And then he started continuing his life, and he got married. He had children. He was taking care of the children, and the children were growing up. He had to send them to school, and then so many things he started doing. And then his hair little bit became gray, little white hair here, little white hair here. And then he said, "Arey, white hair आ गया तो ये हीना मिलता है या कलर मिलता है, ब्राउनिश कलर करेंगे, ब्लैक कलर करेंगे, कौन सा कलर करेंगे?" So he started putting color for his hair, and so that he will hide that, okay, it's no white hair and this thing. And then after some time, his eyes, he couldn't see far away things, he couldn't see near things. वो डॉक्टर के पास गया, उनको चश्मा दे दिया इतना मोटा, पहन लो, ठीक है, चश्मा भी पहन लिया इन्होंने. बाद में, oh, this tooth is paining, okay, this problem. Then he went to the doctor, then they removed it, and then they said, okay, we have new technology now, we can put the nice ceramic ones also for you, you can continue chewing nicely. And then उसको निकाल दिया, एक गिरा, बाद में और एक गिरा. So then he removed them and he put all ceramic ones. And then at the end, his wrinkles started coming on his face. He said, "Arey, wrinkles are gaya, arey, abhi Botox karna padega." Then he went, he did Botox, he put some injections. And after some time, he became so fragile, and then he was on his deathbed. And then his own children were not talking to him properly. And then, okay, khana milna hai, khana time table mil jata tha. So somehow, because so much punya he did all his time, he was very religious, very nice man. His only desire was he wants to know when he's going to die so that he can become more serious in his life. And then somehow he died. He died. Nothing could be done. He died. And then Vishnudutas came and he took him to Vaikuntha. So he went to Vaikuntha. He went to Krishna. And then he was very angry on Krishna. He saw Krishna like this. He said, "Kyun itna angry ho? Kya ho gaya?" And then he told to Krishna, "I knew that you ab to chhal karte ho. मतलब मेरे से भी छल कर दिया तुमने." अरे मैंने क्या कर दिया अभी आपको? He said, "You're here in Vaikuntha. There's no returning back. You're here with me now." He said, "No, but you didn't keep up your promise. I know you're not keep up your promises, but what did I do? I told you so much that I want to know when I'm going to die so that I can start preparing myself." He said, "तुम छल करते हो." He got very angry. Then Krishna hugged him and he said, "नहीं बाबा, हमने तो आपको बताया था. कितने समय बताया था? So much time I reminded you." He said, "Oh really? When did you remind me?" Then he said, first time when they were started, the white hair started coming, we don't even want to call it as white. We always still call it gray. When it is white, in reality, you can see, but people call it gray. Why? We don't want to recognize that also that it is white. We want to be in so much delusion that the gray hai, and we want to paint on that. I told you that time only that is a time for you. You need to leave. He said, "ऐसा नहीं समझ में आया, मैं क्या करूं?" बाद में क्या हुआ? Then your eyes, you couldn't see further. You couldn't see this. I reminded you that it's a time for you. There's no place for you to see sansar. You need to come back to me. He said, "हाँ." And then I removed your teeth also so that you will come. आप तो ये ऐसे थे कि teeth निकालो तो आप सिरेमिक लगा के खाने शुरू किया. तो ठीक है, क्या करेंगे? फिर okay, fine. I started giving you wrinkles so that you will see in your own mirror when you see that you're getting old. He said, "ना, आपने सोचा Botox लगा के ready कर लेंगे." So that also happened. See, then what I can do about it? So that's exactly the situation for us. We always think that समय आएगा, हम जब भज गोविंदम करेंगे. So if all of us have this sign, that means Krishna is so merciful, Govinda is so merciful that he has told us, don't cover it up. It's the most stupid thing for us to cover our own death. We need to know that I'm going to die. When you know that you have white hair, then you will know, yes, I need to start preparing myself for Bhaja Govindam. But what we do, we want to cover it up. You know? So that is again delusion inside delusion. ना अच्छे नहीं दिखेंगे, सोसाइटी में कहाँ बुड्ढी बोलेंगे मुझे, बुड्ढा बोलेंगे मुझे. But we have to know that's not our goal of life. The reality is to get old. But we want to escape. We don't want to show that I'm old. यहाँ पे थोड़ा wrinkles आ गए, यहाँ पे थोड़ा wrinkles आ गए तो चिल्लाएंगे, अरे मुझे wrinkles आ गए, है ना? तो we have to know that I'm going to die, and am I prepared? अंते नारायण स्मृति. I'm able to remember Krishna at the time of death. Exam के लिए आप ready हो? Exam के लिए ready नहीं तो डर होता है ना. अगर आप preparation नहीं किया है तो full डरोगे आप. So when you know that I'm going to die, you need to prepare. So that's the reason why ante narayana smriti. Final exam is very simple. Passing marks है एक बार नारायण बोलना बस और कुछ नहीं. So simple exam we have, but we have to prepare. The whole lifetime will take for the preparation. ठीक है? So Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mooda Mate. ठीक है? So हम सब मूढ़ा हैं. So let's become Vivekas by remembering and to understand that we are meant not for anything else. We are not here for Artha, not here for Kama, but here for only and only one thing. That is Bhaja Govindam. What is the meaning of Bhaja here? Bhaja means to worship. Worship whom? Govinda. And how do we worship? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Vandanam, all the Navavida Bhakti. Who remembers the Navavida Bhakti? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. So these are the different ways where you can do this Bhaja Govinda. So the simplest way in the age of Kali Yuga is to chant his holy name, whether Kali Kale Nama Rupa Avtar. The Lord is personally present in this holy name in Kali Yuga. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Just by chanting this mantra, the Lord is dancing on our lip, on our tongue. Krishna Surya Saman, Maya hai Andhakar. Jahan nahi Krishna, nahi Maya Andhakar. When there is Krishna, there's no question of darkness. So we can be so blissful and happy, and every moment of our life will be a dance. Every moment of our life will be like Vaikunta. But we think, oh, yahan pe nahi, wahan pe, marne ke baad. So when we say marne ke baad, it's not, that means it's an illusion again. It's again another delusion, saying that aapko marne ke baad fairies milenge. You can do sambhog there so much with apsaras. It's again illusion. Hai na? I want it here and now. All of us have to get realization is here and now, not after death. Okay? So let's all worship Govinda and be happy. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Haan ji.